Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.
7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
What up? It's Wednesday night. Tat, bring us on in, my baby.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I first want to say that I had a wonderful long stretch weekend and holiday and everything with all my loved ones, and I definitely had fun with my loved ones that I'm sitting amongst. I love you guys. Don't stop. Everywhere we go.
It don't stop, dude.
We started the Rib Fest out in Novi, other shindigs, and then we ended up at Dave's house. Him and his wife are just fucking awesome. Thank you.
Hostess and the mostess.
Oh my God! Thank you for the wonderful, wonderful time.
Listen, I enjoyed having y'all over.
Yay! I was glad, and Mark was supposed to be there, but unfortunately, somebody didn't send him.
That was my fault. That was my fault.
Told you I had you, Mark.
But Mark had everybody's number here, didn't he?
No, don't try to divert this into something else.
Nope, I was
like
there.
that.
He didn't have my number.
See,
no.
bow. No. That's why you ain't even in front of your camera. We can't see you anyway. Oh, no mic etiquette having ass.
Left to the right.
And that's how we do. That's how we start off, y'all. We
I sat the same way. The mic was put right
kick it
in
with
front
each
of
other,
me.
and that's how family do, But I want to go around the table and see what's going on with my peeps. We also have a special guest tonight. I will get to that lovely lady in just a second. Let me go around and see what's up with the fam. Mac!
Yo.
Mac, what's up, baby?
Listen.
What's
I'm
today?
doing well. Today is hump motherfucking day. I hope you're humping on something tonight. And that's my tagline.
Yeah,
for the
my
day.
pillow.
But nevertheless, I've had a wonderful week. Had a wonderful holiday weekend. It was relaxing. I didn't have any students. I was free. I loved it. Back to the business come Sunday, but it is what it is.
We didn't get our African food, though.
We didn't get our effort. We didn't want to get too full before we came to your house. But
That's why I had Togos
We
there.
kept
so
saying
that
that, too. Like,
I ain't
Y'all
want
had
to come.
Togos?
I just don't. I don't feel comfortable going to nobody's house and packing a carry out.
yeah, just off ribs.
And you got a whole house full of motherfuckers.
And they looking like...
Well, if you don't feel comfortable, just do what Mike do.
So I just-
It'll get you used to it.
I ate some of mine, then
I
put
don't
it
wanna
into
get
go box
used to it.
because we was around there tasting some of everything.
But I already know. I've been to his
like
function,
they
so I know.
familiar with each other like that.
Yeah.
I'm new to Dave's house. I ain't coming just to pick.
We had to
pack
come
a
and
carry
grub.
out,
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm
I
coming to socialize, kick it with the peoples.
told y'all to eat. I found like a whole cow, so I had to cook it before it.
He said a whole
I'm
cow.
just mad we didn't get some sweet potato pie. But back to Dave.
Wait a minute. And side note, my wife said she didn't have a chance to do it, but next week I will have a sweet potato pie in studio for y'all.
Can we get a round of applause for that?
Look
Yes,
at
yes,
Al. What's her name?
Avon.
Avon. I was about to call her
Yes.
Alva. I got an auntie named Alva.
Yes, thank you.
So she said next week she will have the sweet potato pie.
That is such a... You
Let's
have
go,
a
let's
beautiful,
go.
beautiful wife inside and out. And
Yeah.
you did. You looked
Not to
up.
mention his beautiful backyard.
Oh, my God.
I can sit and I told David, don't be surprised if you come home from
And we
work
sitting
and I'm
out
sitting
there.
in your backyard just cool.
Listen, for y'all, the gate is always open.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Mike,
Yes, ma'am.
what's up, my fam?
What up, beautiful people? Glad to be here once again. Let's get it done, as always.
Hey, I
Let's
like
do
that.
it.
Let's do this. All right, tonight, guys, we have a special guest for our topic. We'll get into that in just a little bit when we get back to Mac. We have Toots in the house. She's actually my biological sister, too. My big little sister. Yay.
What number is she out of 18?
Oh, my God. Out of 18 kids,
Wow.
she is number...
Trivia.
Like...
Out of 18?
Out of 18 kids, it's 18 of us. I'm in the middle.
Oh.
I think she's number 4. I believe she's number.
In the Wu-Tang
Yes,
Clan
you are.
is going on
Yeah,
in your
I
household.
stopped doing the
She
math.
said she
Yeah.
stopped counting. She
I
don't
did.
even know.
I think it's
Stop.
number 4.
What?
Well, welcome, Toots. Let us know how you feeling that you in the house with the Truth Podcast at 7maradio.com. How do you feel?
I'm excited. I'm very excited. And yes, I love coming over to your house. Dave,
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and everything was awesome.
Thank
And
you.
your backyard was tranquility.
Yes.
So, but I'm excited to be here with you guys. Yes, and for this topic tonight.
Woo!
Matter of fact, she inspired this topic tonight over barbecue.
She did.
We were sitting in the garage
That's
when
true.
the rain
Listen,
happened.
You were
y'all were
joyous.
brainstorming already,
And we
so
were
I was
actually
ready.
contemplating not having the show, and then we sat in the garage and we was kicking it about just relationships, and just this topic was born. So here we are.
Yep.
Before we get to DMAC and the topic that we will be hitting tonight, I want to see what's up with Mark. Mark, what's the deal with you?
Oh man, same old shit, different toilet. You know me, keeping it moving, staying busy, and all that type of shit. I am looking for 1 or 2 locations. I'm solidifying for our outdoor podcast
Dang.
business expo this year. So that's what I'm working on. And other than that, shit, all systems go.
Hey, let's get it.
Ted,
All right, yeah, babe.
before I go any further, can I give a shout out real quick?
You sure can.
I want to shout out my beautiful daughter Mariah. She actually had her first concert today. She plays the clarinet
Congratulations.
for West Middle School. She plays the clarinet. So Mariah, you made your daddy proud, and I love you.
We proud of you
That was
too,
beautiful.
Mariah.
Yes, we are. I
You're
played the
fine,
clarinet
girl.
back in the day. Get it, Mariah.
I played the
Reed
tenor drum.
instrument.
I'm
I
gonna
play the
live it
sax.
through you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Reed
play some
instrument.
jazz flute, so bump all y'all.
I thought you
Jazz
played.
flute.
I thought you played the piccolo.
Nah,
What is a jazz flute?
look it up. That's all.
All right.
That
so,
must be Andre 3000.
Yeah, that's
Andre, yeah.
Oh, okay, there it is.
Andre 7th.
But my daughter played the clarinet, so
Okay.
clarinet's
All
in
right.
this company.
So tonight we have a very, 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 very interesting topic, as we always do. I'm gonna turn it over to Mac and let Mac fill you all in on what we about to talk to. I would love, but listen. 313-723-0481. Again, 313-723-0481. Make sure you call in and give us some of your input on this hot topic. Mac, what we talking about?
Man, we talking about open relationships.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna get too heavy into the topic because I kind of want to go around the table and allow us to have this conversation first. But I mean, do you think you could do it? Do you think you could handle it? Do you think probably you could do it, but could you accept it from your spouse? Could you accept it from your partner? You know what I'm saying? Is this something that, first of all, what the fuck is open? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? We're going to have Tad and Toots get into a conversation about what the hell that means. Does it have to be mutual? Is it used as a form of manipulation? Or is it something that's selfish and one-sided? So I really don't want to get too much into the topic until we get to my part, if we get to my part. But I'm going to move back to Tat and Toots.
All right.
And I want y'all to tell us what the fuck is an open relationship.
Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start off, and then I'm going to let our special guest go ahead and spread give us a little knowledge on it. I will say I think it's a combination of all, okay? Depending on the person and the motive, all right? I did get a chance to talk to a few people yesterday and earlier today and ask them their input. I had a gentleman, and he was roughly around, say, in between the age of, I think, maybe 35 to 40. And he said he believed that it's a good thing. He think it would bring down a lot of the STD rate. With people being
open relationships
open
bring down the
relationships.
STD
That's
rate?
and I asked him. I said, "Really, sir?"
That
That's
just
a
seems
double
like
entendre.
Well, maybe because
He's saying he said to me because you have a lot of people that will go out here and sneaking doing things, and you don't know of other people. But like I told him, I said, I think sometimes people, when you say open relationship, they also think of the poly relationships and things like that. Like we don't want to get that, what I'm saying,
there
twisted.
is a distinction.
It is.
There
Poly
is a
is
distinction.
when you all are agreeing to be with each other, mess with each other
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Open people, quote unquote open, they're trying to say, hey, you do what you do, whatever outside of me, and I'm gonna do me outside of me.
Right.
So he was saying, yeah, he think it's a great thing. If people can handle it, that he would definitely be involved in open relationships, and he have. I also was messing with someone before my marriage, and they said, hey, let's do the open things. I'm just like, yeah, okay, really, what are you saying as far as open? Because who are you messing with, and do you want to know who I'm messing with? Can you really handle knowing that I'll be messing with someone else? A lot of times they cannot on both ends. I believe, you know what I'm saying. A person really do not want to think about their mate or whatever out messing with somebody else outside of them. The selfishness. Sometimes people will be saying that because they want to have their cake and eat it too. That's just what I feel. They want to have their cake and eat it too. An open relationship.
Is that the same, like with the selfishness? Is that the people that want it for themselves but don't really allow it for their partner?
Yep. Then you have I am territorial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I did have presented to me, even in my marriage, hey, why don't we do X, Y, and Z, whatever and stuff. Okay, well, can I do the same things, outside of you, whatever. Can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So, no. Most of the time, that's just a person just want to have their cake and eat it too. I think so.
What's good for the goose, good for the
It's
gander.
good for the gander. Don't open up that box.
Listen.
Okay?
So
But
you couldn't do an open relationship?
I actually could.
You
'Cause
could,
I-
even though you're territory?
Yes, I could. Now, if you're telling me that we're going to be together, it's us and that's what it is. See, my thing is here. I always tell people up front, whoever it is, be real with me. Let me know what this is. What are you trying to do with me? You just trying to fuck? Let me know so I can say, hey, that's what I want to do. Okay, we can go ahead and just fuck. You know what I'm saying? If you're saying that you want to be with me, let me know so that I know that, you know what I'm saying, this is what we're doing. Because I come cards face up. You know what I'm saying? Give me what you're talking about so I can say yay or nay to that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they tell people that will sugarcoat shit and still lie. Oh, yeah, we going to do it this way, whatever. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could. If we both agree that that's what we gonna do, then yeah, I could go and date other people while dating you. Yeah.
Okay, so I got a question. So because you're territorial, right?
Mhm.
Typically, are you territorial only over the people you have feelings for? Because you can have open interactions with people
Right.
that you don't have feelings with and not
Right.
give a fuck what they do.
Right.
But
That's true.
so is there a qualification in terms of I can do an open relationship but not with somebody I love or somebody I care about? It's got to be just some random motherfucker, or like what?
No,
It could be
because
like you could be open with somebody you love and have devoted to.
yes,
Yeah.
I've back in the day, like even coming up, like kicking it with people, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew this wasn't we not trying to be together, but hey, it's us, and when we're around each other, you'll find. But hey, I might be out of town. You may be out of town. Whatever it is, I know how it is. So
Right, got it.
yeah, and I guess that's the part. You know what I'm saying? Come from me being growing up with being around a whole bunch of men and things. Like I say, I come from the best of both worlds. So yes, I can and I have. Like I say, just let me know. Let's let each other know. Let's put on the table of what it is. And I can care for that person because usually 10 times out of 10, when I'm really fucking with somebody, I care about them. I don't just fuck with just people. You know what I'm saying? And not give a fuck about them. Yeah, it's some type of attachment, some type of feeling there. It
So
definitely
what
is.
would be the rationale for a woman who is dealing with somebody to want to have an outside relationship? Is it because you don't want to put too much pressure on this one person to fulfill everything? Is it that this person is incapable of fulfilling everything and you got to go get that 20% because you can't live without it? I mean, what is it?
And normally that's what it is.
Mhm.
Is something isn't being completely fulfilled there, which leads into you having a conversation about having an open relationship. And that way you can figure out if it's good for both of you, because it has to be good for both of you. And with that being said, I just want to go into saying that open relationship, it can be successful, but both of the partners have to be on board. You have to agree to boundaries and some expectations.
What are those boundaries? What are some of those boundaries?
Well, here's the thing. So I did a little research, and
Awesome.
I wrote down
That's
some
what
of the
we do
rules.
on Our guests are on board.
And I wrote down some of the rules. So number one, set some sex boundaries. And with saying that, that would go into how far things would go if you have an open relationship and you're out with someone else. That also plays in the question of contraceptive that's going to be used, and that's where you were saying somebody told you, Tad, that'll help keep down the STD rates and everything and
sexual
stuff.
boundaries. boundaries, right? And with sexual boundaries, is that saying, look, I don't want you sucking this man's dick, and you better not put your mouth on this bitch pussy.
Yes.
Right.
I mean,
yes.
are we getting that
yes.
specific?
That
when we talk
you
about
have
sexual
to
boundaries?
be that
And
specific
then
when you're talking
how do you
about it.
quantify that? How do you make
Regulate
sure
that
that
shit.
doesn't happen? Because, nigga, I can come home and tell you I ain't eat that cat,
Right.
but I ate the fuck out of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But that
Right.
goes into
Yeah.
trust though also.
It go, not trust, because she can trust you all day still with your lying. It goes into honesty.
Yeah, that's true.
But doesn't that go
That's
for
true.
any relationship, even polyamorous or
It
even
sh-
monogamous?
all of them.
They
As
all
it
still
should.
got
But
trust.
what I'm
As it
trying to
should,
figure out
yes.
is if we set these boundaries, how do we ensure that these boundaries
Are
are
being
adhered to?
yes.
I guess we just keep our
I
fingers
understand
crossed.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that's where. Keep going. I'm not gonna.
Okay,
get into
so
my
one of the
shit,
other
but-
rules is you also have to discuss who is it okay to hook up with. And you also brought that up too, Tad. Like, and you know, like,
Yeah.
is it somebody just randomly that you meet?
Right.
Is it somebody we know? Make sure we tell who is off limits. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Like, 'cause- so-
because some people can be some trigger people. Like, it's okay, but not this person. Yeah.
So we open, right?
Right.
Okay. Toots. We in a relationship,
All
right?
right, all right.
And we've been in a relationship for a little while. Shit getting boring and mundane. You know, neither one of us fully sexually fulfilled and all this type of shit, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know what, baby girl? Like, you know what? Maybe we should just try some other things. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then you tell me, all right, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. Shit ain't no longer fun. It ain't even worth doing to me. You know what I'm saying? If I gotta adhere to all these motherfucking rules. But rules are necessary to make
True.
sure something stays cohesive,
True,
right?
true. And one of the other rules I like that came in with that is we need to discuss how often to check in. So what we can start off agreeing upon may go on for a year, and like we need to revisit this. Or no, are we gonna come every 3 months? How often will we come? And just know that we still at this, because people change, circumstances change. You know, what if we
Your
start to have a
desires
family?
change.
Hello,
Yeah,
and you may
yeah.
just be like, nah, you know, I'm not feeling this anymore. You know, and again, both people have to be on board.
I gotta ask the fellas real quick, Mike and Dad, honestly, if y'all was in a situation and your significant other allowed y'all to open the relationship up, how hard would it be to close that bitch back up?
I'm too cheap, so I already know that ain't gonna work.
I feel you.
I gotta spend money on one person. I got
Yeah,
money on-
dating costs money.
on
I
that.
got wait a minute. That's two dishes, and that's 2 drinks. Then gratuity is 18%. Then what if she don't cook? Then I gotta run back home to the other one. I work 2 jobs already. I can't have more than one. I'm
I
good.
feel you.
Dave said I ain't with it. I don't even want to consider it. Mike,
I'm
how
too old. I
hard do
can't
you
move like
think it would be if you had, let's say you and your current boo, right? Y'all, you know, decided to go exclusive. Y'all exclusive for a while. You missing some shit you really need. Not no 20% you can live without. You just really need this shit. And she just, you know she can't provide. Y'all just decide, look, let's open this shit up, right? Okay, then y'all in it for a little while. She tired of that shit. And she be like, babe, I don't want to do this no more. How hard is it for a man to shut that valve off, bro?
Oh, it's gonna be hard because I ain't cheap like Dave, so it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna be like, you opened the doors. It's gonna be hard to close. We're gonna really have to have a hard discussion, for sure.
So in other words, don't open the alabaster box that you ain't willing to
Not
open.
Yeah,
that.
if you ain't willing to close it.
I mean,
Master
y'all want me to sing it? No, I'm just
Okay, I want to read this comment though. They got some good comments in here.
Oh,
Yay.
So we're gonna
I
start
can't
with
see.
David K. Brown. Welcome to the show. I haven't
Welcome.
seen your name, so thank
Okay.
you. He said, "We going to Raw. We're having a conversation." Okay.
he said what?
He said, "We
going
going
Raw.
Raw. We having a conversation." That was talking about protection. He said,
Oh,
"We going
Lord.
Raw."
With a extra?
No, with hearts. He said, "We going Raw. With
Oh.
hearts. We
Oh.
having a conversation."
Okay, okay.
So then
Yeah,
LaJoya,
for real.
LaJoya replied,
This is Truth Podcast.
Yeah, LaJoya replied, "We're going by the honesty method." And then we had Tracy Jacobs. No, we ain't. So, but LaJoya said something I think is important. Touched on this too. The who is very important. She said rule number 1: no one that both parties know mutually. So what y'all think about that? Does it
I
have to
agree.
be somebody outside of you guys' purview? Okay.
I agree.
Would you be willing to allow your spouse to fuck with his ex in an open situation?
Fuck no. So
Damn.
So it's limited.
fast
No, no, no.
It's
and
limited.
hurry.
It's
That was
limitations
quick,
to
fast,
this.
and
It is,
hurry.
because let me tell you. So, like I say, so he presented something to me, and then so I'm gonna go ahead and let's keep it all the way funky.
Oh, yeah, but-
All right, so and this is where, you know what I'm saying, I agree with her. Nobody that you fucking know, okay? Because my thing was when he presented it to me, I said, okay, I tell you what, because I know who I married. You know what I'm saying? I know where we come from. I know what we used to do out here in the streets. Fine. But my thing is here. If you think that we should go ahead and experiment and have somebody else, you know what I'm saying, or do something, then I pick them out. I pick them up. And I put them the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know, they do not come to our fucking home. You understand? So my thing is, give me that. Let me pick them out.
At
You know what I'm
least
saying?
give me the
Whatever.
power.
Yeah, give me that. You understand? And the world is yours. You know. So it ended up being somebody that we knew. You know what I'm saying? And that did not. You know what I'm saying? Work very well. Okay. I'm sitting here and I still have my freedom.
There she said, I'm a digress.
So,
Right there.
speaking on that, I was thinking about something. I was looking up everything about open marriage. So, would y'all think it would matter if the person they went outside the relationship with was opposite or same sex?
It has to be an agreement. You don't in the marriage. You don't go outside of shit. You agree on things. You understand? So no, ain't no going outside. Nothing.
No, what he said
Oh,
was
the
that
op-
would the gender of the person matter?
But that would be part of the rules
Yeah.
because we're gonna have to have that open discussion
Absolutely.
about we having an open relationship. But what are we opening ourselves up to?
Exactly.
So, ladies, what if he said, look, hey, we're going to go ahead and do this open shit. You can only fuck with bitches. And I can only fuck with bitches.
That's part of the selfish part. That's part of it.
Wait a minute.
I mean, I'm just saying, is that feasible?
Actually, when I'm looking up the research, most of the open marriages that last are actually same-sex ones, more than the opposite.
Mm.
I could believe that.
I believe that too. Mm-hmm. Because to be very frank, in this lifestyle, we're a little bit more liberal in our dealings, right?
Yeah.
So I can believe that is a reality. Yeah. So how can tat and toots? How can a person use an open relationship in the form of manipulation?
Well, that also happened to me.
You know, we got testimonials.
Setting unfair rules and boundaries.
There we go. And he's probably on here listening. 'Cause, I just talked to him, so my husband is probably on here listening. Good.
Hey, husband.
Hey, yeah, he don't mind. Hey, listen, he already know, and you know what I'm saying. And I'm glad we are able to be the way we are now.
When
and-
he's in town, he gotta come over to the house.
okay, cool.
LaJoya said the gender of the person matters. LaJoya, call in
Yes, because-
313-723-0481.
I'm not about to sit here. Ain't no man about to be messing with no man or nothing like that.
Tracy
around
said,
me.
"I like penis too much to agree with that
You
shit."
said he can't. He ain't no like you can have a boyfriend.
Hell no. Hell
But-
no. We just do the it's nothing but women, you know what I'm saying? But no, ain't no man messing with no man with me, whatever. I'm not
Is
here
it the
to
crown royal?
not judge
No.
nobody, none of that stuff. Not at all. But I just, you know what I'm saying, I can't, you know what I'm saying, no, it can't be around me.
But that's a deep statement, though, Dave,
It
because
is.
a lot of men don't consider their women cheating when they're cheating with another
Oh,
woman.
but my husband
That's
What
what-
they,
That's true.
that's true.
what they don't
That's true.
understand is that's a whole nother motherfucking level, my boy. And we're going to get into that next week.
And it is.
on
and it is.
Rainbow Coalition
Part
Week.
2. Yeah, but, and it is. But as far as the manipulation is concerned, so and then you know you be with people, especially when you get married to somebody, whatever. You opened up about it, and he knew almost everything about me because we knew each other for years before even getting married, and so it was more or less when you was with such and such before me, I know you did it for him. You know what I'm saying, like, you know, and come on now, you know what I'm saying, like. that'll make me, that's my fantasy, whatever. Motherfucker, you done had that over and over again. I come up with you. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit y'all done did. Y'all did that shit for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I'm saying? Come on, now we was all around the same homeboys and everything else. But so he wanted to, like, and it's like, okay, you've been thinking this, whatever, or probably thinking about having it with this one person, or whatever it is. But it's, but I know that you had did it with the person before me, you know what I'm saying, whatever, and I'm your husband, whatever and stuff. Like, calm the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? You my husband, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Let it just come. I would love to do it. Whatever I did with somebody else, of course, I'm gonna love to do it even more with you. You know what I'm saying? But don't put no pressure on me or try to manipulate me, you know what I'm saying, and make me think like, because, I did.
Now you made me feel like that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And now it's like, now I'm turned off. You understand? Now I'm turned off with it. So now, yes, I would want, now they make me feel like, okay, well, you thinking something and
it's an ultimatum. If
it's
I don't
ultimatum.
do it, now what's the consequences of if I don't do it? You're going to go do it without me anyway, and now I got to...
Exactly.
And that's what's... So, okay,
Yeah.
So a person, let's say 2 people in a relationship, right? One person presents it to the other person.
Right.
Bang. Boom. Hey, we need to open this shit up, right?
Right.
Other party's like, nah, I ain't with that shit. And then we're like, well, shit, then we just gonna have to break up. There's that manipulation part.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because now she don't want to break up. And she has to concede to something she really doesn't want to do. Right? And then that is that long-lived? You think that would be long-lived?
If they're making that statement, you might as well break up because then it's going. It's just like when we talked about grooming.
Yep.
With that incident to where if they're saying that now,
right,
then most likely they're going to go and permanently be with that person. It shouldn't be where it's a ultimatum, because I feel if it's an ultimatum, that's a closed relationship. That's not an open one.
Right. Yeah.
I had 2 situations I turned down as far as that. One was a chick that had a dude, right, and she asked me would I be willing to be in and I'm like, no. In a relationship with you and you kicking with another, no, like, what the fuck is that?
Kicking it with what? Another girl?
No, she had a dude.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, and asked me.
You wouldn't have been kicking it with both of them, though.
No, hell no. She just took a liking to me. She took a liking to me.
She wanted to add
and was
you to
asking
the
me,
equation.
and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck you think I am and shit like that?
Yeah,
type shit. And
so let me ask y'all a question, just based on what Mark just said. He's like, what do you think I am? Like, does it take a person with a level of self-worth, a certain level of self-worth, to entertain this idea? Does that mean that there's something about you that you don't feel adequate about, or is there something about you that you're not feeling up to par with, to where you're okay with your partner going to get it somewhere else? Like, does it have something to do with your value, your self-worth, your self-value, that you would be okay with something like this? And I'm asking this primarily to the women, even though Mark said something about it.
Okay. Well, to each his own. You know, to each his own. Sometimes it's pretty much, it's like fulfilling thrills. I think that all of this is just pretty much is just thrill seeking. When people go out and cheat, people go out and do this, whatever and stuff, it's really just a fucking thrill. Okay. As far as the self-worth part, because I've done plenty of things, and I feel highly about myself. I just have a high sex drive. I'm spontaneous. Don't fucking bore me.
Some people like variety.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Just like the men doing
And guess
everything
what?
else. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, right?
At all.
People
Because
like
I'm one of the people, like, I like to change up myself. I mean, people you've seen, I've had a million different wigs on and things like that, whatever. I look totally different tomorrow, whatever. I'm into, being the thrill and things like that, and I think that if and I agree with whoever was talking about along those lines. If you feel like, I think it was D-Mac, so it's one of y'all, and y'all was saying that if a person don't really feel fulfilled with that one person or something, then they sometimes go out and seek, others.
Yeah, and it's not, and I guess one of the healthy things, I think you had posted it in the chat, is that it does not put a lot of pressure on one person to be everything.
Right.
And there was a reason why I put that in the group. So I have a friend, and he's in an open marriage.
Okay.
He brought it from a different aspect. He brought it from a different aspect.
marriage.
Yeah, okay.
He's in an
Now,
open
that's
marriage.
on another level.
He brought it from a different aspect. He said with his wife, because that's his wife, it's certain sexual things that he will not do with her. Like he feels like so. One of the things he brought up, he said one of the ladies that he deals with in the open relationship,
Okay.
she give good head. She give good head.
Okay.
When he's with his wife, he rather make love to his wife
Okay.
than just smash. So it's certain. He has
So
certain
he wants that whole
particulars,
shit from the hoe.
but he wants his wife to stay.
that pillow
And I never
princess
thought
from
of
his
it that
wife.
way.
Yeah.
It was the
He wants
craziest
the pillow
thing. He
princess
said,
from his wife.
and he said him and his wife had this discussion.
Okay.
And there's certain stuff, like one of the funniest things he ever said was ATM,
Okay.
ass to mouth.
Oh wow.
If nobody has ever heard of that. So he is like, okay, with the open,
Right.
that with my
Everything
wife,
goes,
I'm
right.
clearly not doing that. It's certain stuff I want to do with the wife.
Wow.
And I know what my nature is. But because I love my wife, I wouldn't put her through that. I would rather find somebody that does.
And then
And they've been married for about 7 years. It was crazy.
The flip side of that is that I get him having consideration for her,
Exactly.
but there are certain wives that don't do certain things.
I was
That's
gonna say
true.
I
Exactly.
respect him
That's true.
as or
Yeah.
them as a married couple
I
to
do
be
too.
able to have that conversation.
Like,
and
look,
come
I
to
ain't gonna be able to
understanding.
give you. I ain't gonna be able to give
Because-
you this, my boy.
Man,
Yeah, because-
I'm gonna allow you to go get this little bit right that you trying to get from me because I ain't
And
about to do it.
I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
like,
didn't either. And
but he what can I say? To me, he valued her as his wife to have this conversation with her. And I'm just speaking because
First, yeah.
I was married for 23 years.
Okay.
And woo, the stuff that went on behind my back. But anyway, like if you would have came to me, maybe if we had a conversation, we might have been on the same page. Like, well then let's open this thing up. An open marriage. Maybe I get my 20%.
you would
but we
have.
still-
Oh, the things my big sister knows, man.
Is it
Where
men?
I think I get it from.
The three men on this panel. Is it really realistic, right, in y'all's heads, for a woman that's your woman, right? You're a woman. You've been your woman for a minute, and y'all decide y'all having this conversation about opening up. Are you really okay with her fucking another nigga?
that depends. Is he taking care of most of the bills that I ain't got to take care of?
Hey, that's the realest shit I ever.
That's for real though, because
That's
check it out, because that's for real. Because I had to ask my husband one day, like,
so
hold up,
fucking cheap.
seriously, because and whoever that was that you talked to, whoever that was saying that he has an open marriage, whatever, and the way he put it in that perspective, I totally I fucking love him because I didn't think of it that way either. Because yes, go, because you not fucking me in my ass, so go ahead. You know what I'm saying, husband, whoever, I go, that's not happening with that. If they say they did that to me, kill them. They lying, all right? So yeah, you gonna
See,
ask somebody to do that too.
I feel Dave on the humor side of the perspective, but like I don't like that because now what that's saying in between the lines is like your wife has a price and shit. Like
Exactly.
if the price
That
is
is
right.
true.
You know what I'm saying? So now is that really like your wife now and shit? It's like you know
Or
what I
is
mean?
that your
it's just
project
motherfucking-
manager?
you know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because you know what, Mark? Because my thing is here. I guess with me being the type of woman that I am, and in my marriage, like we are supposed to be the ones getting down. You understand? Like I feel.
Getting down.
No, I'm talking
You and your spouse,
me and my
right?
spouse. Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, me and my spouse, like
Five
he's
on the
saying,
backhand side.
and like I say, I respect that because of certain things he was saying. Like he don't want her doing certain things, whatever. But me, it's like shit. Like you better fulfill me, and I better be fulfilling you. Like what's next? Like I want to. So we.
You don't want your partner to have to go get it from nowhere.
Hell no.
Right,
But you will send his ass elsewhere for something you won't do.
Yes.
And then, like, what is the point of having your partner having that kind of bond and commitment and contract to the point where it's marriage and there's somebody that don't even fucking fulfill your needs?
Well,
and
marriage
shit,
is
like-
more than just sexual.
I know.
It's a
That's-
contract.
that's
It's
what I'm
something
saying,
the
but-
binding, and it leaves the spouse with benefits.
Yeah, I know,
You
but
know what I mean?
okay, we'll skip the marriage then, all right? Well, why even be in a relationship with somebody
why
that's
get
not even
married?
pleasing you sexually? Why, you know what I mean? Like, what is
Yeah.
and I understand that there's more to a relationship than just that. But if it's to the point where I got to go outside of somebody, like I recall, was it your show that we had it was the white dude, and,
Polyamorous.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and they were saying that they go outside to the relationship to fulfill each other's like needs, and I'm like, well, what was the basis between y'all getting together in the first place? And they said a card game or some shit, and I'm like, what?
Video, I think it was like video games.
Mark,
Video games or something.
truthfully, do you really believe you're gonna find 100% of everything
No,
you
you
want
won't.
need
You
in
won't.
one
You won't.
person?
No, you won't.
And so
But
it
is that
still
a
it
pastor?
justifies the polyamory. It also justifies the open relationship. But I'm the type of person where if you got 80%,
So that's my
I'm
thing.
gonna
Like,
figure out.
you have to be a high enough percentage of all of the things that I like. I
Exactly.
don't expect 100% of
Yeah,
everything. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel it. I feel
So
it.
yeah, I am
Right.
not expecting perfect. But at the
Right.
same time, if it's to the point where I got to go somewhere else to fulfill my emotional needs,
just
my
let me go
sexual
somewhere
needs, my
else.
way, like what the hell are you here for?
Yeah. Yep.
I feel it.
I've been on alert since last week, so when I see y'all.
Mike,
Yes.
you Mike put in the chat. He be like, "Shit, it's better than cheating." Talk to us, my boy.
So my thing was, if you think you ready to go out and cheat on your mate, should you just ask them for an open relationship first? If it's in those parameters, like if it's something that can be handled by an open relationship, should you approach your mate with that? Like, cause that would be better than cheating. That's what I say. I'm not saying now if it's just
My flip side, if it's-
unreconcilable differences and you gotta break up with them or leave them, whatever the case may be, or leave her, I understand that. But if it's like you said, thrill seeking or something of that nature, should you just go to your mate and say, "Hey, how about
if
a
I get
open
to a point,
relationship?"
if I get to a point where I'm expressing a void or a need that I'm not getting and it's not being, you know what I'm saying, and I'm to the point where I feel like I need to go somewhere else, then my thing in my mind is I'm weighing what's making me stay here versus, you know, should I leave or not? You know,
But
I'm
D-Mac
trying
already-
to have a
But
conversation
D-Mac
with you.
already said you're not getting 100% of 100%. So
You ain't gonna
if
get
you-
that out of
Question is,
nobody.
Right,
can
so
you
if you-
leave? Can you live without that 20%?
Yes.
I think the people that entertain polyamory and the people that entertain open
live
relationships
without that.
can't live without the 20% that their partner is lacking.
Yeah.
Like you can lack something and I can live with it, or you can lack something and I can't fucking live with it. That means there's something in me that's always going to be yearning for something you can't give me.
Right.
And so instead of me constantly yearning for that and making you feel inadequate,
Right. Right.
then let me go get that,
Right.
right?
Right.
But then how often does the counterpart express that same concern?
Exactly.
And how often is the counterpart's inadequate or inability to be fulfilled addressed?
Being addressed.
You know what I'm saying? Is it just you going
So-
out
Yep.
to get the
See,
20% I can't
and the
give
focal
you?
point of this conversation is us, is people focusing on the things that they want and they like in a person, right? But we
Right.
all know, and I've said this
Yeah.
a million times in
Right.
the conversation, it's how long we can stay with the shit that we don't like in a person, and how long we can last with that. It's going to determine how long the relationship lasts. And sometimes that's a factor in it as well. It's not about me just not getting the things that I want. It's how long or how much of the shit that I don't like about you that I'm going to deal with.
And
You
how
know?
long do these open relationships, last? Do y'all come back to
How
the
long
wrong
that's
place?
when
you
this
gotta come back.
experiment?
Yeah,
you
you
know,
come back and
revisit
so
it.
we
How long
okay.
we doing this experiment?
And then if we so open and I'm out messing with somebody else and I find out that I like them a whole lot better and they making me feel a whole lot better, then since we so open now, can I just openly just leave your motherfucking ass and go be with this person because I feel a whole lot better? Because that just might happen too.
But you know
understand?
what?
Yeah.
I think we're thinking about it when we keep going back to, okay, there's something missing from that person with 80. Has anybody ever thought, from what you said with your sex drive and stuff,
Right.
it might not be, you might think you have the whole with that person, but you just might be greedy and want more of what you already have.
I believe that
Greed
too.
is a
Yeah.
part.
That is true, and I
That's-
believe
that's
that.
a- that's a-
I
that's an
believe that's
aspect.
what it was with my husband. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was, it was like, okay, fine, now you're gonna open up this fucking door. You understand? Because you got it. Your wife. I'm not gonna tell you no, whatever. And shit,
I
you know what I'm
figured
saying? I'm
out
waiting on
everything
you.
that I'm gonna get from you, and now it's like, you know what? I
Yeah.
feel like I got room to get more.
Yep.
Greed, like
Yeah.
you said.
Yep. Seriously.
I want some more. I
So
got
it's
her where I
not that
want
you
her,
can't
wrapped around my
live without
finger.
the 20. You don't want to live without.
You
the
want
20.
120.
You want 100?
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now,
There you
see,
go.
Dave, I didn't even think about it like that.
There you go.
Listen, I wasn't thinking either, but whenever y'all give me a topic, and this is why I love when we bring up stuff, I do research, even if I don't agree with it.
Right.
I want to be knowledgeable and know of it.
Yeah.
So these were, like I said, I was reading stuff, and do you know how many open marriage websites that they have? You type, go to
Oh,
Google,
hell yeah.
go to
Hell
Google and
yes.
type in, I just typed in open
Yes.
marriage. And when it popped up, three things they had. It said married but seeking, which was the greedy.
Okay.
So like
No
social media
strings.
sites for married people.
Exactly. No strings, dating. And then there was another one that says looking for extramarital excitement and not so secret affairs.
Really?
So these are the three things that come up. Just when I said for our viewers, for anybody that's watching, just type in open marriage. They even have a whole Wikipedia page dedicated to open marriage.
Wow.
So, in your research, Dave, did you determine that? What did you determine based upon your research? Was this a healthy option, or something that was damaging to couples?
So I got facts. So did y'all know 56% of Americans want a monogamous relationship over marriage? So I thought it would be like a lot. So that means 44% are still saying I would
still
consider
close.
that.
That's
That's very close.
That is close.
So also to explore sexual experiences outside of their main significant one is one of the main reasons for open marriage. But the open does not just mean sex.
Right.
It also means love and affection.
Okay.
So there could be where somebody is looking not for sexual attention, but and it goes back to maybe when they were younger. And I'll give you a perfect example. Like for me,
And that's strange as hell. That reminded me of a relationship, like, because it was like, okay, we're married, but we get our emotional affection from, like, we cuddle and shit with other people. I'm like, that's why I'm like, so what do y'all do together? Bingo? Like, and y'all married?
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
exactly. So I'll give you a perfect example.
You had a fun with
A
the
lot of
extra
people
one.
that might want to deal in open relationships are sometimes getting, it's like they're trying to go back to when they was younger, or if they was high school and not popular, or if they was a nerd or something like that, and now even though they have that marriage, they still have that emptiness from knowing they was younger. So when they go to that second relationship, in their mind they're going back in time to when they was adolescent and making up for everything that they feel they missed when they was younger.
Dave,
Right.
Therapist deep on
Dr. Deacon Dave?
Listen, I had
Let's go.
you had
Yeah.
listen, you
No, I think I've inspired you.
exactly. You want for your masters. I'm only trying to get back to community college, so
No.
stay with me.
It's all right. It's
So-
all right.
Unfortunately, the bad news is 92% of open marriages do end in divorce. But check this out, like I stated earlier, same-sex couples that do the open marriage have a 25% better rate of staying together than the opposite sex
Why
open
do
marriage.
you think that is, not being a same-sex couple? Why do you think that is?
Why do I think that
Yeah.
is? I had one theory.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because with the same sex, both of them can be included. It might be where they see a partner or two that they can go outside with.
Okay.
That's like a facilitator. It's just like in a marriage. It's almost like their marriage counselor. Think about it this way. Let's say, so me and my wife are going to therapy. But some stuff I can express with the therapist
I get
when
it.
it's just a session with me. And there's some stuff that my wife can express with the therapist with her.
there,
So
done
that
that.
open relationship kind of is therapeutic to the same sex.
I understand. Because I do the same thing at therapy and all that stuff. So I get it.
Now,
I kind of get that. But
Exactly. one last thing. The bad part, and this is why I thought the other thing was to why same sex work more than opposite sex.
Okay.
In the instances of where the divorce happens, the one partner is using it in court against them in the divorce.
What?
And so you feel that there are less mitigating circumstances to consider in a divorce between a
Same
same-sex?
sex. Then with that,
Not in 2024.
Yeah.
Because they have property, they have children. You know, they still have to wait those 6 months for adjudication. You know what I'm saying? So it I agree just to a certain degree.
I think
I
what
thi-
it is also is that when I don't think they use it because if it's same sex, you could say, you can't really say who is the one that initiated it. With the opposite one, let's say when we get the divorce, my wife is bringing up the female that I went out to.
Okay.
It wasn't that most courts are gonna look like it. Like the man force the wife to get involved just so he can have his cake and eat it too.
I understand what you're saying.
So I think that might be it as well. But like I said, I do want to do some more research.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is something I wouldn't do. But whenever I start reading stuff, it just gets me curious to know that knowledge.
I'm not going to say too much about it. I'm going to wait till next week when we talk about LGBT matters in honor of LGBT Awareness Month. But I will say this, that dynamics between women, relationships are not far removed from the dynamics that exist within heterosexual relationships. It's the same conflict. It's the same love. It's the same jealousy. It's the same territorialism. It's the same either openness or non-openness. It's the same. The dynamics are the same. The gender is really the only difference. But however, I will say this. With gender, and you have two women, you're not dealing with apples and oranges. You're dealing with oranges and oranges. And so the magnification of the situation is going to be different because you have either two women or two men, and you have too much testosterone or too much estrogen, and it's going to bump heads at some point. That's what I mean. You know, I agree with a lot of biblical principles for balance sake, but I live how I live. But nevertheless, so I want to ask. We asked you. You said you could do it. Could you do an open relationship, Toots?
No,
No.
I could not. Now I know earlier I spoke about how long I had been married. And I think back to it, and I just be like, well, maybe if we had that discussion, that honest talk about let's have an open marriage or open relationship, as they say. It might have been something I thought about, but no. I'm what they call a sapiosexual, so it's not too many people.
Oh, bless you.
I really jive with, because you got to be able to stimulate my mind. I got to be able to have an intellectual conversation with you. I have to be able to learn something from you. Yeah. So no. Nope, not for me.
So what does that mean exactly? Because like I said, you just threw me off with that word,
Sapiosexual.
Ooh, say it again.
Sapiosexual.
I mean, she's somebody that's attracted to intelligence.
Okay.
She's
That's what it
somebody
is,
who
yeah.
has to be the
Mentally
person she's
stimulating.
with. She has to be attracted to their intelligence.
Yes.
I'm not
Okay.
just attracted to you in a lustful
For
nature.
way.
Yeah.
There you
Or
go.
your physical form, or how you look and how you speak and how you sound. There's something about you that has to stimulate my mind,
mind.
in order for all those other cavities to open up. Right?
Like if you say autonomy to me every time, that's going to stimulate
Yes,
me.
yes.
Yes.
Motherfucker here.
It's called mind fucking.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I get it. Because I can't talk to no dumb bunny.
Hell no.
Like the moment you sound stupid to me and the moment you can't pronounce a motherfucking word,
Yeah.
baby girl, I'm turned off
we get
and
the
we're
church
going to
for
be
that, the
friend
crickets or
zoned.
something?
You know what I think about every time you say that? That one you took to Outback and she slurped the damn soup.
That
Every
shit,
time I think
nigga.
about that.
That shit right there. Yeah. Yeah. We
Like,
gonna-
ma'am,
we-
you
we
got,
gonna go
ma'am, you got a spoon. What is you doing?
huh?
Ma'am, you have a spoon. What is you
That's
doing?
why
I
I'm
know
like,
that's
I
what you
looked
was
around the restaurant like, you got to be fucking.
She put her fingers in it. Like, oh,
Does anybody else
damn, Mac.
see this shit? But Dave, you have anything you want to add more about the open marriage part? Because that's a whole, for real though, like for real. We fucking, we kicking it, we talking, we might be exclusive and we might get bored and we might want to open this shit up. Boom, boom, boom. But now we're standing in front of God and witnesses and saying, you will be my only partner till the end of my fucking life. Right? Till death do you or I part. You
So
know,
that's
or
a
both of
question
us,
that I
right?
have.
Does it matter? Like that dynamic doesn't take the conversation to the next level?
Or is it even considered before you say I do? Have y'all talked about this already? Because I feel if you're going into the marriage and before you say I do and you decide this, I feel
That's cool.
it's going to work a little bit more. Now I'm not saying that,
Right.
but you know, I guess like when I sent you the stuff, if you decided, you know, emotional freedom, higher sexual satisfaction, more trust and less jealousy, and freedom of expression, I feel those things are going to work
Right.
if it's decided before then. Because
Not after them vows. Though.
Not after the vows, because even if you're not deciding that,
Yay.
We got a
We
caller.
got a caller.
Hey.
What's going on, caller? Who's this and where you calling from? Oh, they hung up. Their minutes
They
ran
got
out quick.
scared.
Ran out of
Call
minutes.
back. You got
and
scared.
don't call on your Boost Mobile. Find a Verizon phone. Sprint something.
But I get that. Like the conversation has, and so really the basis of this topic is communication, right?
That's key.
And so if there's no communication and there's no understanding and there's no boundaries set via communication, right? Then this thing can either be healthy or toxic.
Or toxic. That's
Which would
so
you
true.
prefer?
That's right. That's right.
So you talked about sexual boundaries, and you talked about personal boundaries, and we're gonna pause.
All right.
What's happening, caller? You live? Who's this? Where you calling from? Hello.
Hello.
What's happening? What's happening? Talk to the phone, not the show. What's going on? Who's this? And where you calling from?
Hey, Truth Podcast. This is LaJoya.
She back. She back
Hey,
in
y'all.
the building.
Kick it with a sister.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
good.
Good,
So,
baby.
I've actually been in two situations. The first was an open marriage.
Okay.
It was not initially open from the beginning.
Okay.
But there were circumstances that led up to it being open.
Right.
Okay.
And then they tried to snatch that openness away, and that just didn't work out too well. Yeah. So yeah, my second ex-husband, he was supposed to be doing, a little stay at the state motel. And
She's
Right.
That's a very diplomatic way of saying
Right.
I
good
just
job.
caught what she said.
yeah, he was supposed to be doing a little stay at the state motel for about 6 months, and we basically had a discussion where he told me basically I was allowed to have a girlfriend while he was gone. And so I was like, all right, cool. That's fine by me. So before I started my vetting process before he got locked up, of course. So, but lo and behold, he ended up not having to, go take that stay and wanted me to just follow suit and unleash my relationship. And that didn't work for me.
Right.
Yeah, that didn't work for me.
You win.
So
For real.
yeah, like that
So
didn't work
that
for me.
speaks
Like
to the
you
fact
can't
that
renege.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was asking the dudes,
Yeah.
and I probably should have been asking the women too,
Seriously.
right? Because I was asking them, how hard is it for that door to be open to close the door back?
Exactly. Cause, I
It
feel
can
her.
be. It can be very difficult,
Okay.
especially when you're developing, and it really depends on the rules of your relationship. To be perfectly honest with you, so it can be difficult if you are developing a relationship outside of that marriage,
Yeah.
as opposed to, for example, when I was in just an open relationship,
Right.
and we were in two different states. There was no, like, we had an agreement and an understanding. There was no getting serious with nobody.
Right.
Like,
Right.
none of that was to be involved. We also could not, date or talk to anybody that we both knew mutually.
Right.
Okay.
So,
So
there
y'all
were
had those
rules.
boundaries.
Oh, we definitely had boundaries set up. And there was also understanding that when we no longer live separately, in separate states, that would be shut down.
Right.
So, we had those understandings. So it really just depends on that. And now, the relationship is closed and it's flourishing. Whereas with my ex-husband, the relationship with my ex-girlfriend lasted longer than the marriage did. Me and her still cool. We tight. Like
Right.
one of my very best friends.
Right.
That relationship surpassed the marriage.
Right.
So it really just depends on a lot of situations. They were cool. my ex-husband and my ex-girlfriend, when we were all together, they were cool with each other. But the reality is, even she didn't like him. So, like, there was no openness for it to be like polyamorous or anything like that because they ain't really get along. It wasn't. Eventually, we both couldn't stand him. So, like,
Right.
that's just how it ended up. But
became a
so
third
yeah, you
woman,
have to be very yeah, for real. Like seriously, like they was in competition with each other at one point. But like you have to be very careful with those rules and those boundaries. And the thing is, with that marriage, it just became a situation where it wasn't no fun because the rabbit had the gun because he was already doing his dirt.
That
Basically.
be the thing.
That
And
is.
do a lot of these
Yeah.
open relationships, do you think, LaJoya, do a lot of these open relationships, are they born out of cheating circumstances? And it's like, well, babe, can we
Yes.
just, and it's not because
Um,
I'm really just trying to.
I think it can be born out of a prevention of it. And I think that was the situation for me both times. So, for example, with my marriage, I think it was being realistic. You about to be gone. This is a big part of our marriage. Sex is. And we being realistic to what's gonna happen while you gone. So
was
let's
he
be
open
preventative.
was he open to you only dealing with other women, or was he also open to you
Yes.
dealing with other men?
He was only open to me dealing with other women.
And that's
So
like
he
most
wasn't
of them.
open.
Not at all.
He still had control.
No, I mean, well, and that is, and that's a boundary that I accepted at that time.
And that's fair. That's fair.
Whereas,
Right.
yeah, whereas with my boyfriend, that boundary wasn't there. As far as what the gender of the person was.
Okay.
The main boundary was that we did not know these people mutually.
Okay.
So
LaJoya.
that it was more so about don't be out here embarrassing me
Right.
than it was who you doing it with.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, it just really depends on your scenarios, what your rules
That's true.
are. And each scenario is different.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Thank you for that. Thanks for calling.
I'm glad she.
So y'all very welcome.
Because
Yes,
and I
thank you,
see how scenarios is
It
different.
was good talking to y'all.
You too, sister, and I'm glad you called in because like listening to her and same thing pretty much happened to me, but different scenario. Here it is, her husband had to go be away, but I was listening to Dave talk earlier and he was saying as far as like, do you set this, is it come after the vows or before the vows? And this was something that it did. This is something that we did discuss before we took the vows. So he's like,
Okay.
hey, would you be down for X one? And I'm like, I know who I'm married. You know what I'm saying? Like, we together. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, fine. But it was that manipulation part. It's the way you do it. And then it was the, like the pressure part. And then it was like the ultimatum part. And then it was to make me feel, uncomfortable part, whatever. So then once it was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I went ahead, and went for it. And then he turned into a whole shit show. It's like, wait. That's not what we said how this is going to go. So now you have.
Gave him
because
an
of-
inch, he took a mile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker took, the whole fucking country. You understand?
Took
And
like a
then,
mile.
so now you kind of embarrassed and went against the grain. You went against what we had said. You understand? So now you open up
So
this.
now it's not honorable.
Now it's not honorable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not what you do, it's how you do. Like I say, we did before the vows, and we had, say all these things that we was gonna do. But it's the way you went about it, you know what I'm saying?
Because
And
it
we
now
did,
sounds mischievous. Like
it was. You know
Now
what I'm
it's
saying?
sneaky.
You,
It was
you were
sneaky.
trying to
It
tell
was-
me
it's
one
game.
thing,
Right.
but you want
It was
something
done
else.
in a hurtful fucking way. So now it was like, okay, so I'm like, well, fine. Since you did that, so now we open, and now Tack can go do what the fuck, not that Tack wanted to do, but now Tack can do her. We could have been said that too. You understand? You wanted to mess around. You just wanted to have a woman, you know what I'm saying, around, whatever. So now I can mess with men or whoever I choose to, you know what I'm saying, whoever I choose. Because you still didn't give me that power,
So
that
what was
control.
the response to that though?
Oh, at first, of course, you know what I'm saying, yeah, go ahead with it. No, because as soon as I said, oh, I did. You understand? And he did all the things that you should have been doing, whatever. Oh, and you should have saw
Ooh,
look
that
in his
gonna hurt.
eyes. You understand?
bad.
Exactly.
That hurts.
You
So
understand?
a lot
Yes.
of people can dish
I
it, but
felt
they
that.
can't
Cannot
take
take it.
Oh,
A lot of
yeah,
people
yeah,
want it,
yeah.
but can't handle it.
Yeah, man
that's
was
the
like
real.
that too.
Yeah.
For real.
He thought ours
For real.
came from a cheating incident, and he gave me a hall pass. Well, go ahead, go to get me back, cheat back on me.
So 90%
But
of
that's
those.
not open
And then-
marriage. That's more
it's-
tit for
A tit for
tat.
tat.
Okay.
But see, mine wasn't. Let me tell you, because see, mine
that was
wasn't a
my
tit for
whole-
tat. Actually, I had to. And since we opened up that door, and since you felt like that was something, oh well, okay, fine. And it took a minute for me, you know what I'm saying, at first to even open up to mess with anybody else when we became separated. You know what I'm saying? But for me to go into and get myself involved with somebody else, you know what I'm saying, and do something with somebody else, whatever. Like, I needed that to get me back to me. You know what I'm saying? I did. You know what I'm saying? I needed that, you know what I'm saying, that feeling again. I needed, you know what I'm saying, I was able to hook up, you know what I'm saying, where somebody was actually, you know what I'm saying, like, oh shit, I got tat in my presence. Oh shit, I'm about to, you know, and it
You
took,
felt appreciated.
Yeah.
You felt recognized.
Yeah.
You felt validated.
yeah.
Right?
And so I needed that to actually get back to Tad. Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so before the call in, we left off. So she talked about sexual boundaries, right? You also talked about
It's emotional boundaries too.
yeah, and you talked about the personal boundaries, like who the fuck is allowable, and she brought in the emotional boundary part. So when you, so, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and we decide we're gonna go open,
Okay.
like you not about to love this bitch like you love me.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Like there has to be some limitations to how far you're willing to go with that other party. If this other party is only fulfilling 20%, then they can't get the 80% I'm sending to you.
We also have to agree upon a time that's gonna be spent
Right?
with
It's
any
called
other
splitting
person.
time, right?
Versus, well, you
But
know,
that's what the psychologists call it.
Yeah.
It's a term, splitting time. How much time am I going to allow you to
Yes.
spend with this other person?
Yep.
Okay, it's open, but baby girl, don't put me in a position where I'm feeling jealous or I'm feeling
It should be
inadequate.
close.
Or don't put me in a position where you're spending more time with her
I was
than you're
about to say,
spending with
it
me.
shouldn't pass-
I'm primary.
I don't
You
think
know
it
what
should
I'm saying?
pass 35%. I think 65. If you're going to do it, I would feel 65%. You need to be with the one that you married. 35%.
Because it's
at
not just
most.
the one that you married, it's home.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
I feel, how can I put this? If you're spending more time with the person that you didn't marry with the open marriage, I feel like you're treating the side dish as an entree.
And you're giving opportunity for emotional
That,
involvement.
that's what I
It's
say
one
too.
thing to
yeah.
get what you're not getting from me, but I'm the one you're emotionally involved with.
So
Exactly.
are we saying that is this open relationship shit even really fucking worth it? You know what I'm saying? So if it's gonna be complications like this, then
It's
I'm like,
worth it as long as both parties
Agree to the
are
terms and
okay. I'm talking about really okay
gotta
with
keep
it,
it
and not
100.
just conceding and giving into it. It's
to.
worth it if this is the lifestyle mentality of both parties.
Okay.
But if there's one party, that
not-
it's being almost forced on them, or
Right,
they have to do
right.
this to stay with this person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It eventually you're gonna have issues like they talked about earlier, jealousy.
yeah,
It's gonna come into play
yeah, yeah.
unless it's an absolute mutual arrangement.
That's right.
It's going to become toxic.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
right. That's
And
right.
so my portion, which is, we're going to stop in a few minutes, but my portion was just about the toxicity and the healthiness. What makes it healthy is open communication. What makes it healthy are the boundaries you spoke about. What makes it unhealthy is not adhering to those boundaries. What makes it unhealthy is allowing this person to become primary instead of secondary or supplemental.
Right.
It's almost like a vitamin.
Right,
They're a vitamin.
right.
I'm getting all my nutrients from you, but there's some nutrients I can't get from you, so I gotta supplement them with a vitamin, right?
Right.
All right.
You're the vitamin, and I need you to stay in your motherfucking place.
Or already a
There you
Percocet.
go.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my final thought. We're gonna go around the table with everybody's final thoughts, and we out this motherfucker.
All right, final thoughts. Let's see. Hey, to each his own. You know, my thing is, hey, whatever y'all doing, as long as y'all, you know what I'm saying, enjoy. Can you wake up and look in the mirror and say, hey, I'm having fun and I'm okay with what I am doing? And also be careful, okay? It is fucking ridiculous out here. Protect yourself. Be careful, that shit is still out here. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So, and also these spirits. So also be mindful of who you are screwing, who you are putting your dick into, or who you are, you know what I'm saying, wrapping your pussy around as well. You know what I'm saying? Do you know who that person's messing with and that person's messing with, and all these spirits that you are getting tangled up with as well. That's my thought about it. But my thing is, hey, if you speak about it, you better fucking be about it. If you can handle it, then do it. There we go.
Make sure you can handle it, though.
Can you handle it?
Toots, we appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
Thank y'all
You've
for having
added
me.
value
Thank
to the
y'all for
show.
having
me.
Thank you so
Yay.
much. And hey, what's your final thought, lady?
My final thought is everything ain't for everybody.
Say that shit.
And if you're transparent, you're honest, and you can set some clear boundaries and expectations, then it might be for you. But if you know you jealous and you're a one person like I am, then it's not for you. So everything
okay
ain't for
to say
everybody,
that.
and it's okay. It is. Yep.
Mike, final
Hey.
thought, my baby.
I gotta agree with that. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. You just gotta be aware of that for yourself.
Self-awareness is key, right? Like you got to know what you're capable of. You got to know what you're willing to accept. You got to know what you're willing to not accept.
True.
And don't be cajoled into accepting something you know you're not capable of accepting, right? David, what's your final thought, my baby?
I looked up open marriage celebrities. They got Dolly Parton listed twice. She is getting it in.
Not the 4 double D's.
He's talking about
They
it.
got Parton
First
twice.
of all, it take more than one motherfucker to handle them double D's.
Okay.
Yeah, she got 44 double D's.
Okay.
She
about
had to
80.
accept that.
She got Nick Cannon looking up to her. I was like, God damn. But my final thought is very simple. If you get into an open relationship, monogamous, non-monogamous, I think the main thing that we talk to that person before you commit. Whatever you do, talk to that person and be truthful before you commit. And that's my final thought.
And we out this motherfucker.
See y'all next week.
And we
Y'all
out.
next week.
Now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.